Chicken chow mein is one of my favorite dishes, and this recipe is definitely a keeper. I'm going to start with the chicken marinade. To a medium bowl, I'll add half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of ground pepper, 2 tablespoons of Chinese cooking wine, 2 tablespoons of low-sodium soy sauce, 3 garlic cloves grated, or 1 tablespoon of grated garlic cloves that I grated with this fine grater right here, 1 tablespoon of neutral oil, and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Mix it and set it aside. I'm going to use 1.5 pounds of chicken tenderloin for this recipe. I rinsed them and removed the white skin from each tenderloin, and now I'm removing the tendon. If you want to know how I make chicken chow mein with the whole breast, you may watch my first chicken chow mein video. At this point, you may slice your chicken tenderloins any way you want, as big of a piece as you want. I'm just going to slice into strips like this. Place the chicken in the marinade and massage it in very well. When you see that the chicken has absorbed all of the marinade, you're done massaging it. Cover the bowl with cling wrap and refrigerate it. Now it's time to cook the noodles. Here I have a couple of 6-ounce packs of dry chow mein noodles that I bought online. I'll place a link in the description. I'm going to boil 2 quarts of water in my large saucepan on high heat with the lid on so it comes to a boil faster. The water started boiling, so now I'm going to add the noodles to the pan. It comes in a couple of sections like this and some little pieces too. Now I'm going to cook these noodles for 3 minutes, and I'm going to time it because you don't want to overcook these noodles. You can try to use thin spaghetti if you can't find chow mein noodles. Here we go. Time to drain the noodles. Put some cold water on it immediately. And then put them in ice cold water to stop the cooking process. I bought these noodles on Amazon. I bought a large package of it because I wanted free shipping. I always cook chow mein anyway, so I will use those. But you can also find it at Target or Target.com. Now I'm going to drain them again. There's a fine line between cooking and overcooking chow mein noodles. And that's why this time I put them in ice water. The noodles I cooked on my first video were a little thicker. Shake it a little bit. Drain it as much as you can. I placed the noodles on a large cookie sheet lined with parchment paper so they can dry better and faster. Spread it out like that. I'm going to let the noodles dry until I'm ready to use them. Now I'm going to make a delicious sauce with half a cup of low-sodium chicken broth. You may also use unsalted chicken broth. 4 tablespoons of low-sodium soy sauce. 2 tablespoons of dark soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of hoisin sauce, 1 tablespoon of sweet chili sauce, 2 tablespoons of Chinese cooking wine, ground black pepper, I'm using half a teaspoon, and 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. Mix it and set aside. Now I'm prepping the vegetables. Here I have a large sweet onion that I cut in half, and now I'm slicing it into 1/4 inch pieces. And it's important to separate the segments because it will help you later. And place the onion on a plate. I'm also going to use 3 green onions, cut off the ends, cut off the white part and save the green part. I slice the white part into long strips and then cut them into smaller pieces like this. The green part I cut into 3 sections, like that. I put the white part of the green onions in a plate as well, and the green part in a bowl. I also chopped 3 large garlic cloves and 1 teaspoon of grated fresh ginger. I'm also going to use for this recipe a 5-ounce package of shiitake mushrooms that I cut up into strips. If you don't like mushrooms, you may use snow peas, bean sprouts, or water chestnuts. I'm going to use a 10-ounce pack of vegetable slaw mix. It has green cabbage, red cabbage, broccoli, and carrots in it to make it easier. But you may use 2 cups of green cabbage cut up into strips and 1 large carrot. I'm going to rinse this slaw mix, drain it, and place it in a large bowl. And to that, I'm going to add 2 stalks of celery that are julienned. I removed the chicken from the fridge 20 minutes ago, and now I am ready to stir fry. I'm going to start by heating up my 12-inch wok on medium-high heat and adding 3 tablespoons of a neutral oil. The oil is getting hot, so I'm going to swirl the pan a little bit to get the sides of the pan oiled as well. It took 1 minute for the oil to heat up, so now I'm going to fry the chicken all in one layer. Spread it and let it fry on that side for 2 minutes. Okay, it has been a couple of minutes, so I'm going to turn the chicken. And I'm going to cook this side for a couple of minutes. Okay, it has been a couple of minutes, so now I'm just going to stir the chicken so all sides get done. It smells awesome already. I said it in my first video, and I'll say it again. This marinade is money. You can just eat the chicken like this with rice. There's a little brown bits down here at the bottom of the pan that I'm going to deglaze with 2 tablespoons of Shaoxing wine. I did that with my shrimp lo mein, and it was delicious. And the chicken is done. I'm going to remove it from the pan and place it in a bowl. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of oil. Swirl it, or use your spatula. Because now I am going to fry the onion and the white part of the green onions. And this is going to go very quickly. You see why I told you to separate the segments? I'm going to let it fry for about a minute on high heat. So now that has been a minute, I'm going to add the chopped garlic to the pan and the grated ginger. I'm going to fry it very quickly. I turn the heat down a little. Smash that ginger in there. Oh, they smell, everybody. I wish you could smell this. You will if you make this recipe. It's one of the best I have. Awesome. So now I'm going to add the mushrooms, the celery, the slaw mix, which is super easy to use. Awesome. And just stir it up. Mix it all up. It may look like a lot, but it's going to shrink a little bit. And I'm going to fry these vegetables on medium-high heat for 5 minutes. If you see that there's a little brown at the bottom of the pan, you may deglaze it with a little more wine. I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt now that it's halfway done, and a little ground black pepper to the vegetables. Parts of it are getting brown already, so I'm going to remove it from the pan. Place it in a bowl. And now I'm going to fry the noodles. I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of oil to the pan. Do the same thing I did before. Distribute the oil all over the pan. And here we go. Fry these noodles very well. Fry the noodles as much as you want to. I fried the noodles to my liking. So now I'm going to add the chicken back to the pan. Wow, everybody, look at this. This chicken is so good. The juices, of course. Let's not forget the juices. The vegetables. Yum. This smell is amazing. And now I'm going to add the sauce all over everything. And it's time to gather everybody. If you could smell this with that awesome sauce, I'm going to add the green part of the green onions. It will cook with the remaining heat of the chow mein. And that's it. The chow mein is ready. I hope you like my easier chicken chow mein. My chow meins and lo meins never disappoint. Thank you for watching.